The last raid video I have for you today is the level 900 in the Unopposed August raid. Hey everyone, Derpy here, welcome back to another Battle Pirates video. Now this target, like all the other two in the top set, does put you in the same area, you spawn in at the same spot. I actually do auto the other two targets. This one you can auto for roughly 50 minutes of repair, although it's probably not recommended. Now, in this target, I tend to go for the bottom convoy first, grab a few things here, then head up towards the top convoy, which will be in the middle, loop off to the left, and then finish out all the way in the center of this target. It will make more sense as I go into it. Try and use the tips that I've been showing you in the other videos of making sure things are in the flagship weapon here so they're debuffed, slowed down, and they have a longer reload time, which is all fantastic. So make sure things are debuffed when they're in there. Even if it's not the riots, even if they're slow ships, try and do that. Now it is a bit tricky. Sometimes you do have the different ships that the marauders distract you and get the built-in weapon shooting at the wrong things. Whatever, you have to spend a little bit more time shooting at those. Now, you will notice that I did just double back through a mortar patch, which is definitely not recommended, but I do make mistakes in these targets, and it's still actually pretty decent damage. Now, try and make sure that you're capturing these things. There you go, it's the wrong ship that you just saw there. Also, try and keep max range, which I didn't do a great job of there. And the last thing I was saying is use these built-in weapons to spin around and grab a few different things. It does help out a little bit. Now, I believe these riots trigger once you kill that last eradicator or damage each ship in the pack. I'm not quite sure which. So grab a few of those riots that I just killed and then head towards the eradicator. It is a big target, so you don't want to spend too much time driving around because it just means a longer time to complete the target, which is a little bit annoying. Now, I do have the X1 flagship, which means that these fire fields disappear if I get close, which is fantastic. I am very much spoiled by that. If you don't have it, you can still avoid all the damage, it's just a lot more driving. So the path itself is not going to change based on upgrade level, unless your time to kill is a lot longer, like it is for my U0 fleet. But the driving techniques for the flagship certainly do change things, and I don't want to imply that that's not true. Against a few of these things, again, try and avoid doubling back on yourself here because these mortars are going to hit you. It is a little bit hard for me to tell where they're incoming because it is just a sort of 2D map and we have something moving in 3D space, but at least those black mortars are pretty predictable, whereas the cheese balls aren't really. So you can see I'm trying to kill ships, not let any of them past me, because if they do run off the edge of the map, you do not get the full 1,000,000 points. Just be aware of that. It's nothing too bad. If you're autoing this thing, you actually get 983,000 on most cases, which is pretty good by me, and that's totally worth it for me. Now, damage here, I've been trying to go for 1 coin on this target. Not that I've actually been coining it more than 1 time on my raid stream warm-up video, but it is possible to complete this for pretty decent repair. I'm sure it could be instant base repair with a little bit of better driving. Now the target's mostly complete, just a few more things to go for here, a few different groups, one in the center here, one off to the left, and we'll run over to the right. But the target is possible to complete it, and this is the challenge target that has not been instant base repair the first try. Now, there's a few ships that are on the other side of the land tile here. Those are sometimes useful, I think, to use to trap the riots against the land if you have trouble killing them otherwise. Although in more cases than not, it actually gets in the way and you're better off just running away off to the side here and having them all group up, snipe them down, and use splash weapons to kill all of them at the same time. Super easy, right like that. Now these last 3, again, the eradicators, which for some reason are back to the normal cheese ball mortars, which I find a little confusing, but whatever, and the 2 riots here. With the riots, if they're not slowed down, you actually do want to get really close because otherwise it is a little bit challenging to kill them, especially if you have low projectile speed and are not all the way through your upgrades like you're still using the U0 free fleet. By the way, I would not try the U0 free fleet. It will get more like 3 hours damage on this target compared to 30 minutes. It is a pretty big difference. Alright, let's go ahead and check the damage, the battle report, and I will of course show you the build. Looks like more explosive damage. This is the case where the hulks do not have that concussive damage weapon, and the only concussive damage comes from the riots. Damage I've done is mostly concussive, 2 parts concussive, 1 part explosive, and that's the set complete there. It is a nice set bonus. Full 1,000,000 points because nothing ran off screen, and repair time here, if I pull this up, is going to be 23 minutes, which is instant base repair, which means I can change the YouTube title here to instant base repair for each one of these targets. The build I'm using is shown here, the Kixeye hash code, and the build is actually shown in more detail in the Google Docs in the YouTube description. Go ahead, open up that document, totally free, doesn't cost you anything, and you can see those builds there, you can use them, you can share them, you can copy them, whatever you want, that's there to help you. All right, with that, I'm going to go ahead and show you just the one last thing here, which is the prizes payout or the targets payout of the screen to show you what you're dealing with. It's the same as pretty much every raid. You have this core set here, the 102 and 103. That's 1 million points total for everything. If you go ahead and hit the 900 target in addition, you get the 1,000,000 points for that one target and 250k in addition to what you were already getting. So it may be worth it to do the 900, especially if you care more about the number of targets rather than the time to complete. I'm not sure how many of these I'll be doing. You can see I have some 102s and 103s stacked up, but whatever. Alright, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you to everyone whose name appears on screen now, and as always, this is Derpy, signing now, to helping you be a better pirate.